All right. So what do we want to talk about first off?
Right, so I thought we'd start off the show. It's been on a lot of people's minds recently. It's been discussed a lot. Basically, it's had the shit talked out of it for the last 6 months, and that would be next-gen consoles, as in the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, the other two. Is there another two?
Well, technically, there's the Wii U.
Oh, well, no one's going to buy that.
And then, if there's another one other than that, I'm not aware of it, but those three definitely are the big ones.
Yeah, I have. I've heard of two other smaller ones, which there's not too much hype about. Really, they're just sort of. I think they're more focused on indie games and the sort of.
I see.
Yeah, making it easy for developers and all that. So, don't take my word for that. Yeah, so basically what we wanted to discuss is what do these consoles mean for gaming as a whole.
Yeah.
Where will gaming go because of these consoles? All that sort of good stuff.
I'd like to start off by saying that as far as the next generation goes, I'm pretty underwhelmed as a whole by everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox One, I know they kind of went backwards on all the DRM stuff and stuff like that, but I mean, still not very interested, not excited at all. PS4 is ever so slightly exciting, basically because of Kingdom Hearts 3. So if... That's my kind of in a nutshell take on the next generation.
Yeah. I don't know how I really feel about it. I think they're not focusing. I don't know. It's not they're not focusing on the gameplay and the content of the consoles that's going to run the games, but they're trying to own the living room. They're trying to be that one thing that you use for everything.
I noticed that there's this whole media center thing going on with game consoles.
I don't know how that media center is going to affect games. Like if it's going to be a positive thing, or if you're just going to get people buying the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 so that they can have that sort of all-in-one entertainment unit.
I don't know, because I think a lot of people already have. It might not all be in one device, but a lot of people already have all those things. Already, so it's still not really incentive to buy it, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
And anyway, I think Connor will be interested in answering this one. What do you think the effect of having that all-in-one entertainment unit, that one thing in the living room, will have on the PC gaming scene?
Well, PC gaming isn't as popular with a lot of the other, against consoles. A lot of people are going in, especially before the first gen, the new gen, was all the Xbox and Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Well, that's because it's heaps cheaper to buy an Xbox than to buy a gaming PC.
But again, that's it though. It's cheaper to buy, but again, with new gen and stuff, with more stuff coming out, to keep getting new games, you have to buy the next console. While with PC gaming, you buy, say, a gaming computer. You buy a gaming computer for like $1,000, $2,000, whatever, however much. 500, whatever it is. And then, as new games come out, all you have to do is maybe update your graphics card. It's cheaper in the long run, and you don't have to keep buying a new console or a new computer. You buy the one computer and you upgrade it, and it's a lot cheaper than buying new games, and you don't have to buy Xbox Live and whatever the Microsoft, whatever you call it.
I think
Microsoft to run Xbox is the Microsoft one.
Sony or
PlayStation is free.
Oh, okay.
I think
I don't care.
The biggest problem that PC gaming as an industry faces is that most people find keyboards very confusing for gaming.
Yeah, well, it's
sorry.
It's more popular with an older demographic. I don't know. I think parents would be reluctant to buy their 12, 13-year-old kid a $2,000 gaming computer.
Well, I mean, the thing is that they've probably already spent $2,000 buying a laptop for them, which isn't really good at gaming at all. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not just that, but there's also a lot more stuff coming out for the computer as well. Like they're trying to enhance computer gaming, like the Oculus Rift is cut out, which is going to change the PC gaming if it catches on. Like it's not huge at the moment, but like if it really takes off, it will take PC gaming and gaming as a whole to a next level. I think it's only compatible for Windows.
Like even with what you said before, with the whole having to buy a new Xbox and all that, it's been 8 years since the Xbox 360 was released, and I can still turn that thing on right now and play games that were released, I don't know, like earlier on this year, late last year, whenever I bought the games, and it'll run the games fine. So I think it's good for that as well.
Yeah, it's true that like games released for consoles are kind of designed to work well on the console, whereas games released for PCs, they don't have to really work well for older PCs. They can just say that you have to upgrade your graphics card, whereas they don't really have a finite specification to make their games towards, if that means anything. PC gaming's much more open-ended as to what the performance specs are going to be on the platform that's running the game. So it's going to be harder for the developers to create sort of a universal average for it. Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know if I'll be getting a next-gen console at the moment.
Yeah. I know one of my friends says like that he thinks that this generation is going to be where the PC like finally becomes like the dominant gaming system or something like that.
It sort of goes back to its having a big market share and sort of doing well for itself.
I'm not sure if it'll be quite that it'll have quite that impact in that amount of time, but I definitely don't know a lot of people that are that excited over it.
No, I'm not really aware of people that are that excited for it too, except for people who are really hardcore on their gaming. Yeah,
like there's one guy I know who's planning on saving up a lot of money so he can get all the new consoles, but he didn't want like one specific console for one specific game or anything like that. There's nothing really exciting that's been announced.
No, there's not, but there's still going to be that sort of year and a half, that honeymoon period where games are still released for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. Yeah. So, like, upgrading immediately is not going to be that much of a problem. You'll still be able to play the same games, but they might not be as good. The gaming experience might not be as good as it would be on the next-gen console. It might be better, who knows? But it won't be that necessary to upgrade straight away.
Yeah. I definitely also think that there's starting to be an emphasis on, like, the Xbox was bashed a lot for its requirement to have the Kinect always connected.
Yeah,
and there does seem to be this push towards, like, because the Wii did unimaginably well and it had the whole motion capture, motion sensing stuff, and there seems to be this kind of push to make everything motion sensing so that it tries to like recreate the success of the Wii. But the problem with that is that the Xbox and the PlayStation didn't really appeal to the same people that the Wii did. I mean, the Wii was popular, but that's because it appealed to people that weren't really gamers, whereas now there's this kind of push for motion sensing game. It's kind of alienating gamers in a way.
Yeah, the Wii was so successful because it tapped into a market that was like, no one was making motion sensing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, people were like, holy shit, I can hold this little remote and I can flog someone in boxing. Like, without having to push any buttons, without the complicated gaming controls. Whereas if I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm playing Saints Row, I'm playing Assassin's Creed, I don't want to have to get off my fat ass for anything. I shouldn't have to wave my hand around to, like, do anything. I should be able to sit there with a controller and play it. Not that the Kinect would be a big thing, but that's the sort of, those are the people who own the Xbox and PlayStation. If they wanted motion sensing, they'd buy a Wii U.
Yeah.
And there's not that much good stuff that they can do with the motion stuff yet within normal games as it stands.
Yeah, it's not quite good enough to be like virtual reality yet, but it's good enough that it's gotten kind of the attention of people.
Yeah, I don't think there would have been many people that went out as soon as the Kinect was released and bought an Xbox to get a Kinect, or bought a Kinect for their Xbox.
It's true that a lot of the success of the Wii is kind of because it was a new thing and kind of a fascination rather than an actual like desire for games like this.
Yeah, well, actually, as I say that, I just looked up the stat now. More than 750,000 Kinect units were sold during the week of Black Friday 2011. So that's a lot. Also, just another stat here. That was from Wikipedia, so shows our level of research. But just this, it's a gaming news site. They say that the Xbox sales grossed at the time $66 million, and the Kinect only $18 million.
Wow.
So I don't think it's been that popular, even though it did sell a lot of units. I don't think it's that popular, and I don't think that having to have the Kinect always connected is really going to be that good of a thing.
I mean, I talk to people who have like the Xbox 360 and stuff like that. The majority of them don't have the Kinect, first off.
I don't have it, and I own a 360.
Yeah, I don't. Most people I know don't have it. Who have a 360 don't have it. And at the same time, most people I know, going back to the whole no one's excited about new consoles, most people who I've talked to who have an Xbox 360 don't plan on getting an Xbox One like when it comes out or really anytime soon. So
I don't think there'll be a push amongst our sort of general group of general demographic to get an upgraded console until they stop making games for the one we already have.
Yeah, so it'll probably be a while before people actually start getting their hands on the new consoles. They might be coming out like, within the next year or two, but I mean, it'll probably take another 3 or 4 or even 5 before people actually start seriously upgrading. Yeah,
that's a big part of it for me. I wouldn't go out and pay like $600 or whatever it's going to be for a new Xbox.
Yeah.
When I've got one sitting in my room that I can use and it'll still play the same games. And apparently I've heard this, I don't know how much truth's behind it or not, but the price of games could be increased as well on the next gen consoles from, it's probably about 100 now, might be up to 120 or something.
And what was with that whole like fee for buying used games? I mean,
that could have been really, really cool. It could have been ridiculously cool. Like, what they had was essentially when you put your game in your console, it gets linked to your gamer tag if you're on Xbox, or what's the PlayStation equivalent? Sorry, your
PSN ID.
Yeah, your PSN ID. So basically, if I go over to your place, we've both got Xbox Ones in some weird alternate reality.
Yeah.
Say I own a game and you really want to try it, I can punch in my gamer tag and we can play the game.
Oh yeah,
but
that would actually work pretty well.
You'd probably still have to download it and all that because you can't just run a game off cloud. But
Yeah.
And it is Australia where our internet speed is
amazing.
Just no.
We have some of the worst internet out of developed countries in the world. Like, I looked at it, I think it was Sweden or Switzerland. I always get those two mixed up because I'm an uneducated fuck. But anyway, they're the absolute bottom line internet you can get. Like, this is the cheapest internet. They probably give this shit out for free. Right? It is so bad over there.
Yeah.
That is twice as fast as our fastest connection.
Oh, God.
They have incredible internet.
Let's all move to Switzerland/Sweden.
Yeah, well, let's just go around Europe until we find a country with good internet.
We'll tour and find the best internet in the world.
The reason for that is we've got a big fucking desert right in the middle of our country. We can't run good cables over that sort of space.
I actually, because I live in a suburb that's gotten the new fibre optic stuff, so my internet is actually a little faster than like, it's faster than most people's internet, and it's still like slower than most connections in like America or proper internet places.
That's right, everyone. That's right, everyone. He said the new fiber optic cable.
Oh yeah,
just think about that.
The brand new internet is supposed to be like the best thing that we're
groundbreaking technology
that's been out
that
for 20
Australia
years.
has just discovered, invented even. So you know what's stupid? At the rate technology is moving at the moment, there's going to be something better by the time they finish half of the... Okay, so we should probably explain this to people who don't know. Australia's been going on this big thing. It's the National Broadband Network. Basically, they're replacing all the old telephone wires with fibre optic cables.
And it's costing taxpayers billions of dollars, but let's not get into that.
Yeah, we're spending billions of dollars on dated technology, right? We haven't upgraded our internet since the internet was invented. And our Prime Minister,
God bless
we got
his
a
soul.
Prime Minister, decided that it was time to upgrade, however many years late. So basically, it's mainly affecting rural areas first, I believe. I don't know how your suburb actually managed to get that, but it's mainly rural areas. So they're rolling out hundreds and hundreds of kilometers of this crap for like 3 people living in the middle of nowhere, while I sit here in suburbia with my shithouse internet trying to like pirate movies, and I can't do it.
God damn it. What is the government doing to us? Well,
first world problems. Well, not for you anymore, but
Well, even then. Brief tangent about the internet.
Yeah, right. So back to the consoles. Anyway, one thing I did want to mention about these consoles before we finish up on it, just before I forget, basically. The Xbox 360, when it shipped with a headset.
Yeah.
And that was good. Except for when like younger kids were playing on the Xbox.
Yeah,
but everybody knows that they're the single most annoying species on the face of the earth.
9-year-olds.
I've seen younger. I have seen younger. Anyway, so when the Xbox shipped, you got this headset, right? So if I'm playing Black Ops for some ridiculous reason, and I want to play zombies, and I want to communicate with my team, I can do that because I know every person there has a headset. Or at least most of them would have a microphone, so we can communicate and we can kick some undead ass. With the new Xbox, they're shipping with the Kinect. So instead of like getting, this vocal quality, you're going to get something like this, where you're just going to get the sounds of the room echoing around and around and around.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's special effects at its finest. I took off my headset and held my microphone an arm's length away from me.
Sweet. We're putting so much... This is a high-budget podcast, this right here.
Oh, God. So, anyway, yes. First... Next-gen consoles, not first-gen. That was stupid. Next-gen consoles, final thoughts.
Meh. That's it.
Sums it up.
That sums it all up, really.
Yeah, just anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all excited would be my reaction. That's it. Not at all excited.
My reaction is really just...
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Very good.
Connor, your final thoughts?
Oh, I can't wait to buy all of them. All of them at once.
You're loaded, aren't you?
I'm gonna scrap my computer and just house all my new gen consoles in my old box.
Don't scrap the iQute.
But it's so big. That's what I'm gonna do. On Tumblr, I'm gonna upload a photo of my iQute.
Yeah, check out our Tumblr. It's linked on our YouTube page. You got that little link box thing. We got everything set up. We are loaded. We got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got Tumblr, we got Google Plus.
We got everything, even Google Plus, which no one uses.
Yeah, no one uses Google Plus. Anyway, like us, follow us, do whatever you do on Tumblr. I don't know. I don't use Tumblr.
Follow.
I think you just fangirl over everything.
Oh, okay, so fangirl over us.
Yeah, we're gonna have some sexy fan fiction written about us.
I hope so. Yeah.
That's probably the thing I'm most excited about.
Okay, if you write sexual fan fiction about us, we will give you a 20-minute segment on the show.
And a cookie.
And
no, we won't give them the cookie. We'll eat a cookie and we'll just write their name on the photo.
Watch. This is your cookie.
No, we'll take a photo of
this is for not writing that I had a bigger dick.
We'll take a selfie with a cookie
and we'll tag you at the bottom.
As the cookie.
As the cookie. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? One more thing on these consoles. This pissed me off, right?
Ooh.
Basically, there was like this big uproar at Microsoft with their like always online thing.
Yeah, the DRM stuff.
I'm sure you've heard this, but apparently some person in the Navy made a complaint that he won't be able to play Call of Duty while he's on a nuclear submarine. I'm like, motherfucker, you are in Call of Duty. Like, you don't need to play that shit. Your life is Call of Duty.
You're living Call of Duty every day of your life.
I was so angry when I heard that Microsoft, people were calling Microsoft unpatriotic.
This real war isn't quite real enough. I need to play some Call of Duty.
I haven't
got a high enough KD IRL.
Need to hone my Call of Duty.
My KD is like 0.5. I've died more times than I've killed people.
The only thing I could imagine when I saw that was the like eagle with the American flag in the background. I'm sure you all know the one I'm talking about. And then a caption, something along the lines of, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sounds of my freedom," or something fucking ridiculous like that. But that is ridiculous, right? You should be defending your country, not ranking up.
No time to kill brown people, I gotta play Call of Duty.
It's like, oh yeah, I could go and help kill the Somali pirates, or I could quickscope some motherfuckers. Well, definitely you're going to choose the latter. I don't even think that the US Navy should allow Xboxes on a nuclear submarine. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
So yes, anyway, next-gen consoles.
Torpedoes! No, I'm getting a kill streak. Nearly got my nuke.
Overall verdict is America.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and not impressed. I think that's pretty universal.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, game companies need to pick up their game, honestly.
Oh, God. And on that terrible note, let's move on. Okay, question. What is your favorite game of all time?
I'm going to answer this with a few answers. Everyone's going to think I'm the worst person alive for saying this, but I really like Metal Gear Solid. What else? Code Veronica. Resident Evil Code Veronica. I like that too. And Bioshock. Yes.
Bioshock.
I'm going to go with those three.
Yeah, those are actually pretty solid choices.
Yeah.
Very good.
Anyone else?
Yeah?
Yeah, you can go next. Go for it.
I can go.
Don't, yeah.
No? Yes.
Well, no.
Okay, go.
No, hurry up. God damn it.
Probably
You're ruining the show.
Fuck.
Our podcast is... No one's going to watch it anymore. We've just lost like 50 subscribers. We're at negative 50 now.
Okay, probably my favourite game or game series would be the Stalker series, which is a first-person survival horror video game developed by Ukraine video game developers CGS Game World for Microsoft Windows.
Is it survival or adventure RPG type thing?
Adventure RPG.
So wait a minute, Stalker isn't what you call your daily escapades?
No, that it is.
The survival part is not getting caught by the cops when you're sitting at the front of your local
there are a lot of
primary
cops
school.
in post-apocalyptic Ukraine.
Yeah.
Especially around Chernobyl. There are a lot
So that's why you've been buying so many plane tickets. I do. Man, I see clearly now. The proverbial rain is gone.
Yeah.
The nuclear acid rain is gone.
Yes, now back now. Yes, I'll let you finish your answer now. That was really
Okay. Yeah, these games are set in the area surrounding the Chernobyl accident area called the Zone, in an alternate reality where a second explosion occurred at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, and sometime after the first, and caused strange changes in the area around it. This is ripped straight off Wikipedia.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yes,
you weren't just coming up with that on the spot.
No, I've ripped it straight off Wikipedia.
Oh, well, at least they're citing sources.
Yeah, apparently Stalker is an acronym, and it stands for Scavengers, Trespassers, Adventurers, Loners, Killers, Explorers, and Robbers, which sounds really gay in my mind.
That just would have been far too long for a video game title. So.
Yeah. But yeah, it's they're a free game.
So which one are you?
You're
no,
you
personally.
I'm the hooded cloak man. At the window. I like to peer through the windows before I follow them. Just sit there for hours.
Fair enough.
So you said this was a horror game.
Yes, there are.
Is the horror when you mistake a retirement home for a brothel?
Oh no! That's terrible.
No, it's
not. Oh, okay.
It's
so that's the good part.
It's a very misleading game. There's
I might have this weekend.
It's a good game despite the insults I'm being hurled at the moment.
Wait, no.
The general abuse that you get.
It's an everyday. You guys might be shocked, but this is an everyday kind of thing for me. I get it regularly, including from my family as well. I get so much from my family. My parents.
There is no escaping it.
No, my parents don't love me.
Hey, I'm just trying to get answers for our loyal fans. Honestly,
yeah, see, I get
trying
that.
to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lack of pedophilia and other such things.
I'm a serious journalist, so trying to get to the bottom of this hard-hitting news drama. Okay.
Okay. So. Yeah.
Oh god.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going. What were you saying?
I think I was saying there are 3 games.
I think you were taking a long ass time to answer this question. I think that was what was happening.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a good game. I think it's supposed to be a bit like it came out beforehand, but I believe it's similar to Metro, which I think more people have played Metro than Stalker.
Yeah,
but
probably.
it's fun, and you should give it a look and a play.
Have a crack.
Have a crack. Have a crack.
That's our endorsement.
Yeah.
Product placement.
Get into crack. Crack into it.
Get into crack.
Oh, no, don't do that. That would be bad.
No, we're not endorsing that. If you do that, that's your fault.
No, that's my personal endorsement. I'm going to get you in the crack, and then I'm going to stalk you. The
opinions expressed by the individuals in this show are their own.
Yeah, not related. Not related to the larger brand of Leather Pants Gaming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you in the crack, and then gonna stalk you all the way home. Hopefully, it won't be a brothel.
So, on a slightly less creepy note,
moving forward,
I don't know. I think my favorite is a toss-up. Really, it's either Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I really did like. Oh no, I don't know if I like Brotherhood or what was the one after that. It was
Revelations.
3. No, number 3. I don't know why they called it number 3. That's just confusing. I think probably Assassin's Creed 3 or Saints Row the Third. Assassin's Creed because Assassin's Creed 3, sorry, because it was so much fun to play. Like, it's I don't know. I think the historical element really helped it out too, with like the whole Civil War revolution type thing.
It's the same with all the Creeds, though. They've all got that very awesome historical aspect to all the games.
Yeah, I really did like that.
I do love it.
I probably would have picked Revelations over 3 had the ending not been awful.
Ooh.
The ending was absolute shit. Like, no spoil. I'm not going to say anything about it except that it was absolute shit, because I don't want to spoil it for other people to experience how shit it is. But And Saints Row the third, because it's Saints Row. Like, there's something ridiculously satisfying about flogging people to death with a, 2.5 foot purple dildo on a baseball handle.
Yeah, it's something in its own.
Jesus Christ.
I think that is one of my favourite elements of the game. Just a single weapon. I don't know, I play it a lot. You can do a lot of different stuff in it, and that's what I like. You don't sort of... It's similar to Grand Theft Auto, but it doesn't take itself seriously. Half the time, it's taking the piss out of itself. And it's just absolutely ridiculously good fun.
Yeah.
I haven't played either.
Oh.
Really?
You haven't played Creed?
No.
Oh.
That's definitely serious to play. Assassin's Creed 1 is slow. I will give it that.
If you're going to play Assassin's Creed 1, you want to play it first before you play any of the others.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did, because I came in just as Brotherhood came out, and I'm like, no, I'm going to play number 1 and then get to Brotherhood, because I know it's a lot like other games, like Mass Effect. Yeah. I started playing Mass Effect 2 and I finished it all the way through, but I said before I play 3, I'm going to go back and play 1, and 1 it's a good game, but it's nowhere near up to the same as number 2, as with any other game. It's just
old.
It's just old. The graphics are shit in it. If you go back and play number 1, the graphics are shit. And I only got halfway through it, and I haven't finished it, and I still haven't played number 3. I'll get to it.
Number 3 is definitely worth playing, though. Like, number 3 was probably one of the best Assassin's Creed overall.
Yeah.
It's weird. I forget which one it was. I think it was Revelations. There was about 6 times they could have finished it, and it would have been a good ending. But then they just sort of kept going, and I don't know. It's like say you go to a music show, right? And you kind of like the bands that are playing. You know, they finish, they walk off, and then they come back for an encore, but they play 6 songs.
Yeah.
That would be like what they did. But on that note of your favorite games, what games are you guys excited for that are coming out in the near future?
Matt, you go.
I already mentioned Kingdom Hearts 3, which I'm vaguely interested for, just because Kingdom Hearts is alright. And there's one more that's coming out for the PS4 and providing me with even more reason to not care about the Xbox One. And I don't remember exactly what it's called, so you can come back to me on that one.
Okay, we'll give you time to look that up. All right,
actually,
Connie, Connie, you can go next.
Yeah. Well, like you, I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series, so I'm looking forward to Black Flag, or Flags, or whatever it is.
I haven't actually even watched the trailer for that.
I have, and it's focusing more... It's not only, but it's focusing more on the ship
It's about
gameplay.
Pirates and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a big thing. There's like a lot more on the actual ship front. Like in number 3, they've expanded on it. So I think it's like 40-60 is the difference between on land and ship gameplay. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be interesting to see who like the ancestor, like not the ancestor, who the guy who's playing as the ancestor is. I think they said it, but I'm not sure who's it's supposed to be. It might be like another relative or something.
So I think that one's gone under the radar of a lot of people. Actually, like I don't know. I don't see a lot of hype building about it where I have previously seen hype for Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, I think the news of it's kind of been pushed under by like all the
new consoles.
New console kind of news. Like there's not a lot of hype for them either, but like it's been pushed under because there's these new consoles coming out, and it's like, ooh, big fucking.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Yeah, I think it's being overshadowed by things that people would view as more important or more interesting to talk about. Yeah,
but I'm excited for that. Another game I'm looking forward to, although it's not coming out on PC or isn't out yet, would be The Last of Us.
That's PlayStation exclusive.
It's exclusive,
so it won't be coming to PC.
Okay, I'll be waiting. I'll be I'll be waiting for someone to make like a pirate kind of thing, maybe. Hopefully,
like a
waiting
cracked
for
version.
the PS4 emulator to come out.
Yeah, I'll wait for that, and then I'll play the shit out of that game. It looks really good, even though...
I have heard that it is amazing. I've heard that it's probably going to win Game of the Year.
Yeah, like, just looking for the trailers and, like, the amount of people playing through it on, like, YouTube and stuff, it does look like a really good game.
Yeah, it's practically the new Minecraft for Let's Plays.
Yeah, another game I'm looking forward to is Remember Me. I'm pretty sure Remember Me.
I haven't heard of that one. What's that about?
It's well, if you give me 1 second, I'll look it up on Wikipedia.
Load up your Wikipedia article on it,
and I'll read it. I'll read it straight from there.
Yep, fair enough.
Remember Me. Woo. Albums, literature, film and TV, songs, other video game. There we go. Okay.
This is cutting edge.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, dear God.
Okay, let's see. Gameplay. No, setting. The game is set in 2084 in a futuristic version of Paris called Neo Paris. The Memory Corporation The Memory Corporation has invented a new brain implant called the Sensation Engine, CSEN, which enables roughly 99% of population to upload and share their memories on the net, as well as remove unhappy or unpleasant memories. This gives memorize an immense degree of control over the population and enables them to establish a surveillance state. This in turn leads to a small group of rebels falling under the name
Sound it out.
Leads to the group of rebels. Their mission is to bring down, memorize the intention of the CSEN has also resulted in the creation of lepers. Lepers.
Lepers. I'm like, we have lepers now. We don't need them. The fuck kind of invention is that?
Okay,
and the Nobel Prize for 2048 goes to Ron Johnson for the invention of leprosy.
Thank God.
Okay, yeah. Memory-addicted humans who have absorbed so many memories that their CSEN has degraded and they have
Can you give us the short version of this story?
Yeah, it's pretty much the mutated into subhuman form, now living in the sewers of Neo Paris.
So what's the point of this game? That was the entire backstory. Maybe you should have just read about the point of the game.
So from what I've heard, you play as this chick, and her all her memories have been wiped, and so the entire game, I believe, is going out to try and find out who you are and get your memories back.
So it's Total Recall in Paris,
but it's cool.
But not a movie.
Well,
with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Was Arnold Schwarzenegger in that?
Yeah, he was in the first one, but not in the remake.
Yeah, I haven't seen the remake.
Remake was shit, so don't worry. Don't want to.
Yeah, I didn't really have that much intention of watching it. I fell asleep during the original, so...
Good.
He didn't say, I'll be back in the first half an hour, so I just fell asleep.
Lost interest immediately.
Yeah, well, I didn't have any interest at that point.
Oh, well.
So anyway, I'll be a little less, like, drawn on and completely, like, snore-worthy boring. I'm excited for Saints Row 4.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
I don't even know if that's what they're going to call it. I don't think that... who makes Saints Row? I don't think that the company that makes Saints Row...
Volition / High Voltage, apparently. What else?
I don't think those guys have even given it an official name. They've kind of just said that it's coming out. They're like, yeah, it's a happening thing, but we're not going to give you too much information on it yet. Apparently it's meant to be released in August, so they're keeping it all very hush-hush. Like, I think there is a trailer, but that's about it. Like, I was looking to do some research before the show about it so I could have something remotely educational to say about it, but I couldn't find anything. Like, this thing is like top secret shit at the moment. Can't find anything on it. So I find that kind of exciting. Actually, I'm pretty pumped for it. Wow. Unless it's released on the Xbox One. Fuck the Xbox One.
I'm reading the Wikipedia page, and yeah, there's not a whole lot of information. It has like release date and Xbox 360, but I mean,
yes,
it doesn't.
Best game of the year.
Not much else. It was refused classification in Australia.
You're excited for that?
Which segues into our next topic.
Here we go. You ready?
As a baby's bottom.
Look at this transition coming up.
The banning of games, which pisses me off.
Yes.
And as like another segue is the way that governments are sort of becoming nanny state governments, or at least the Australian government is. The US is kind of doing the same thing in relation to gun control and all that, but I think the government is becoming too controlling and too restrictive on its people, with apparent safety in mind.
I have to agree. I'm not going into detail, but I agree.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and be as uncontroversial as possible when I talk about the push for political correctness, because on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, political correctness, we shouldn't be racist and homophobic and not inclusive.
There's no need to be offensive, as a government, but I like, especially here, it's the minority that speaks up. Like, in relation to gay marriage, if they put that to a referendum, which is essentially, I don't know if it's called the same thing overseas, but essentially you go out and you vote, which you have to do here. And it's a little piece of paper, and it just says yes or no. I think they call it like propositions in America. So you have like Prop 32 or whatever it is. So if they put that to a referendum or a vote or a proposition, whatever you want to call it, the majority of people would say yes. I dare say there would be 75% say yes. But at the moment, it won't go through government because it's the minority that says no that speaks up. It's not the majority that makes itself known in our society at the moment. It's the loud minorities, and they're the ones that hold the power because they're willing to speak up about the sort of stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of irritating, and I guess there's just kind of eventually things will change, maybe, but
they will, but I don't know when. I hate it at the moment how the whole gay marriage thing, the only reason people have against it is because, like, oh, I don't want to get fucking raped. It's like, okay, just because the person likes people of the same sex, it doesn't mean they're a rapist or a pedophile, which seems to be a common misconception amongst most people, right? And the second thing is religious. The religious argument. It's ruining the sanctity of marriage.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's ridiculous.
I
don't care what the church thinks about it. The church has all the power in the world to say, look, we won't allow marriage to happen in our churches or by a priest. I don't give a shit if that happens or not. But there are atheists that get married every day. Does that not ruin some sanctity of your little marriage thing? Does celebrities that get married then break up 6 months later not ruin some of the sanctity of marriage? Do they still allow those people to marry? God, yes, they allow those people to marry.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's just closed-minded people not really being closed-minded.
Exactly. It's... oh my God.
I really like the argument against it. I don't agree with it, but I really like the argument how it's like, if you allow gay marriage, next thing you're going to allow bestiality and to marry horses and shit. And it's like...
yeah, that's another ridiculous argument.
Fucking ridiculous. It's like, sure, we're going to let everyone start marrying and fucking dogs and horses.
Oh, for God's sake.
Just because we allow gays.
Yeah.
I find that hilarious that people
there's a bit of a step
between.
There's a bit of a step between allowing two people who love each other to marry and allowing, like, some retarded ass farmer. So I have nothing against farmers or people who live in rural areas, but without the national broadband network, they probably can't even render this shit. Anyway,
I mean,
there's a bit of a step between allowing two people who love each other and want to be committed to each other to marry than to allow some backwards ass farmer to marry his cow because she's sexy.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn udders. Oh Lord.
Your wife only got 2 nipples, mine got 6. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's
Oh my god, that's terrible.
It's one thing to
Retarded cow.
It's mutated because that's also inbred.
Yeah, it's one. It's one thing to like for two people to fall in love with each other. I mean, that makes perfect sense. It's another thing entirely, and it shouldn't be brought into this at all. It's another thing entirely for someone to fall in love or with some animal of a different species, really. And it shouldn't really be brought in with the same argument, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I'm reading something here. Right, yeah. There's over 500 animal species, like individual species, where homosexuality is present, or bisexuality, or whatever. They can't really have it, like a trans penguin, you know. But,
not yet.
But it exists in like 500 species, and for people to say that it's unnatural just doesn't make sense. It's such a big part of nature. If it didn't exist, populations of animals would be ridiculous. Like, think about it. If you didn't have rabbits who happened to like rabbits of the same sex, then the population would be even greater than it is at the moment. Well, I think it's almost an important part of society in like many different animal species. And there's no evidence of any other species except for humans showing
homosexual. Not homosexual.
Not even like
homophobia.
Yeah, essentially homophobia. Like shutting out people, casting out individuals in that society because of their sexuality.
I really don't. I remember like hearing like years ago when I kind of first heard about all this stuff with the whole controversy about like gay marriage and stuff like that. And in a way, I'm kind of surprised that it's. I mean, it's clear. It clearly is, but I'm kind of surprised it's still happening. Like, I thought we would have run out of reasons and like. But if you asked me back then, I would have said by now gay marriage would be completely legal and accepted. I guess that's just childhood naivete. But
well, back when we were children, we would have probably liked to think that by the time we're adults, the world would have matured enough as well to sort of accept these people for their differences.
I mean, seriously. And so in a number of ways, I'm just like kind of baffled that this is still a thing, that there's still this like anti-gay marriage thing going on. Like, how long are people just going to keep holding on to the same like religion arguments and like the whole marriage is between man, woman, or something like that? Like, says like who's the authority on that, really?
The authority on that is a book that was written many thousands of years ago that some people still believe that every word is absolute truth, which I think is personally ignorant.
I mean,
I think it's, the discrimination will continue until they find something else to discriminate against.
Yeah,
it's part of the human condition for people to discriminate. As like when you think about it, the whole homosexuals have always been sort of oppressed, but it wasn't really brought into the spotlight until we'd finished oppressing the blacks,
which only came in after we finished repressing the Jews.
Yeah, which only came in after we finished oppressing someone else. Like,
women.
Women actually. Yeah.
I think women came. Yeah, women was there.
Women was pretty recent, actually.
Early 20th century or something like that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, that's such a long time to be so stupid.
Yeah, but to bring it back full circle to where you originated from this from, political correctness is not politically correct as far as I see it, which is weird to think about. But they're trying to be politically correct for those minorities that speak up.
Yeah, they'll keep repressing like gays and stuff until they find something else. Probably like a six-headed cow, six-tip cow. They'll start repressing them and.
Farmers who want to have sex with their six-nippled wives that just happen to be bovine. Is it bovine that are cows?
Yeah, that's cows.
Yes, nailed it.
Good work.
Good work, Australia education
system is paying off.
Woo. The least they got that right.
Either that or the internet, really.
I think it really highlights, because this is a worldwide thing, really. It's cows? One of the big issues no, not six-uddered cows, gay marriage, you idiot.
I see.
I think this is one of the main issues in the world at the moment. And it shows and highlights how governments are controlling people's lives too much. Like, why should someone who just happens to sit in a position of power, why should they be able to decide who you can and can't commit your life to?
Well, it kind of goes against the idea of having a democracy, that sort of thing, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, basically, the whole thing behind democracy is we're going to limit your freedom so that you can be safe and not oppress other people's freedom, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, you don't live in a free country. You're still controlled. You're controlled by a government that you choose to control you, though. That's the free part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think
it's a fun topic.
It's a frustrating topic, honestly. I think as the youth of today, it's good that we're angry about these like ridiculously petty arguments that are being made.
It's the kind of I'm hoping like the kind of revolution that happened in like. I mean, I wasn't around back then, strangely, but like the same sort of revolution that happened in the 60s.
Don't lie, you were there.
Okay.
Dick.
I'm sorry. But I mean, like people, like kids of the 60s always talk about how at the time they wanted to change the world and they were angry because at the time it was very a lot more like conservative than it is now. And this time, you know, basically all of us were angry again, and we all want to kind of fix all these problems. So I think what I'm hoping is that there'll be some sort of new revolution that's going to change everything, and then everything that we're kind of angry about now will seem really petty in like 20, 30 years time.
Well, see, you'd think that, like, the oppression of women and blacks and Jews would have been a long time ago, but it really wasn't. Like, it was recent shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all new, this whole, like, the whole liberalness. This is a now thing. This hasn't been an ongoing thing at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, like... There will be change. Like, eventually, all the old, ignorant people are going to die off, and they're going to...
Yeah.
No, they will, because most of the people have a problem... You don't see many young people that have a problem with this.
No.
The people you mainly have a problem with are the overly religious seniors and the vocal middle-aged people, right? But the vocal middle-aged people won't have the support of the religious seniors because the religious seniors will be dead.
And once all of us, you know... become like old enough to vote, then even the middle-aged senile politicians will lose their power as well.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, I think with that referendum I was talking about earlier, every year that it waits is another year of young minds that are actually realizing what sort of effect this has on real people's lives. Like, they treat gays, homosexuals, whatever you want to refer to them as, they treat them like they're not people half the time. With, like, restricting their rights to access marriage and all that.
It really is just a matter of time until there's enough votes to allow it. Really.
Oh, yeah. Every year, more people turning 18 for us here, or whatever the legal voting age is in your country of residence. But change is coming, my friends. Change is coming.
I think, bro, the greatest thing I ever saw was there was a photo of the Westboro Baptist Church. And our family...
For people who don't know quickly, that's the God Hates Fags church.
Yeah.
Basically.
And everything.
And they go to, like, the funerals of dead US soldiers and, like, protest.
Yeah.
They stand on street corners with terrible signs about how God hates homosexuals.
And metal. Even metal. They hate metal. So sad.
Oh, bastards. A really interesting documentary. You've got to watch it. I forget what the guy's name is. He did a BBC documentary on them. I'll find that up while you're talking about this.
I really, still talking about Westboro Baptist Church, I really respected when Kevin Smith made a movie that the Westboro Baptist Church really didn't like, and said, and kind of, they were trying to protest against it, and Kevin Smith basically invited them to, like, the premiere to protest against it, because he said that he was willing to do that because that's one less funeral that they'll be protesting at.
Yeah. I found the name of it. It's called The Most Hated Family in America. I would definitely recommend watching it. It's interesting because there's this guy, I forget his name. He's pretty good. He does a lot of BBC sort of documentary, extended news pieces type stuff. He goes in and he lives with them for a week or two, and he goes, like, their church practices, and, like, he goes to, like, a few of the younger members of the church are, like, in university or college in America, and he goes to the college with them, and it's really interesting, actually. It's sort of, it opens your eyes to just how fucking stupid these people are.
Yeah, but like I was saying, probably one of the best things I've ever seen was the photo of the Webster's Baptist Church, and a gay couple had bought a house straight across the road, and they painted it in the gay color, like the gay flag colours.
They put, like, a big rainbow on it.
No, they painted the entire house in the gay flag colours, and it's straight across the road, and it's the best thing I've ever seen. And the car, they got the gay flag car, and like a signs so out the front, and it was the best thing I've ever seen. And
that is so awesome.
It was amazing. I'm going to see if I can find that photo, and we can. I don't know.
I'll put it on the screen now if we find it. So you're either watching it now and looking at it, or we didn't find it. So fuck your opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We'd still love you though. We'd still love you.
Yeah. So governments being controlling, and political correctness in this day and age isn't actually politically correct in the proper sense of the word.
It's I think, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're trying to appease the vocal minority, basically.
I don't think they're really sure how to be politically correct.
Yeah, essentially.
But yeah.
So anyway, to sort of wrap up the show, as we are closing in on an hour.
Do you know what's funny though, is that we've completely gone past the banned games that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So that's just an extension of governments fucking with people's
lives. It really
is.
I mean,
the amount of games as well. Some of the
censorship
best games
is a big part of that political correctness as well. I mean, it's like there's so many arguments about, like, why is really gory, violent things allowed, but, like, swearing and sexual stuff is immediately banned, or things like that.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was listening to a guy talking about it earlier. On TV, you could watch someone get cut in half, and their body, not cut in half, but it's very, like, visual, getting their throat cut, and then their body dissolved in acid. Breaking Bad, best show ever. But, like, tits is this big taboo thing.
Yeah.
Or swearing.
And it's like in someone's real life, what are they more likely to do? Like, have some sort of sexual encounter, or swear, or, see someone cut in half? It's like, seriously, what are you really protecting them from? Like, people from?
Yeah. I think they've got that round backwards. I think you shouldn't be able to see someone being murdered, but you should bring on the titties. I'm all good for that.
Alright. Yeah.
So, on that bombshell,
Two questions quickly. We're gonna go around. We'll go Matt, then Connor, then I'll answer with these two questions. Would you rather? Okay, we've got two would you rathers. The first one is: would you rather do a shit job for good pay, or a job that you really enjoy and is a good job for shit pay?
Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd go good job.
I'd have to go good job. I already work a shit job. So yeah, I don't know. I think if I'm doing something I enjoy, I could be living off dole checks, which is social security, government payouts, for the rest of my life, as long as I'm doing something that I enjoy. Honestly, I want to be able to wake up every morning and be like, God, yes, I get to go to work today, not I have to go to work today.
Yeah, like
exactly.
When I'm thinking about what I kind of want to do, it doesn't really have to involve a lot of money. I just have to enjoy it, honestly.
Yeah. I think happiness is more important than money.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good answers, guys. Second question is: I got this off Reddit. This one.
Nice.
Would you rather be able to fall asleep into a deep sleep, like whenever you want, for however long you wanted, always wake up really well rested, but never have another dream, or lie awake for hours on end, but when you do finally fall asleep, you have the best, most visual, lucid dreams, which lucid is where you pretty much realize you're dreaming and you can control the dream every night. So which would you prefer?
So it's going to get philosophical.
Yeah.
I want to say deep sleep with no dreams, because I think the biggest problem I have is whenever I do have a decent dream, I wake up and then I get really disappointed because it was just a dream. So I'm going to say deep sleep whenever I want for however long I want.
Okay, that's a fair enough answer.
Yeah. I don't know, because with me, I'm kind of a cross between both of them now. Like, I lay awake for hours up until about 4 o'clock every night. 4 o'clock every morning, not being able to sleep, but then I sleep. And I don't have dreams. I just don't dream at all anymore.
So you've kind of got the shit end of both.
I got the shit end of both. So I honestly, I could go either way. I don't know. If I still couldn't get to sleep, and I'd have an amazing dream, that would be awesome. But if I could just get to sleep and sleep for hours on end and wake up amazing, then that would also be good. So whatever happens to happen, it would be great.
I think I would go with the lie awake for hours and have the best dreams ever. Because I think you could counter the whole having to lie awake for hours things by going to bed at like 7 o'clock. And having awesome dreams is like you could do stuff that would never even be possible in your lifetime just because you're dreaming, and you can do that every night. Like in a lucid dream, you can be what you want, do what you want, because you're in like full control.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, yeah.
I don't know, but I think that it could get boring as well, though.
No, depends on your imagination that you have, because you can again, lucid dream, you can control and make it turn into anything at all that you want. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good point. It's basically how many scenarios you can think of that you want to play out in your dreams.
Yeah, exactly. But it's endless.
So I think that's all we have time for. Thank you for joining us. If you're still watching at this point, you're a legend. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to let us know how much of a legend you are. So do you guys have anything final to add before we sort of wrap this up?
Before we do, I found the photo and I found the car and everything. It's a little beetle.
All those will be added on.
Cool. It's a little beetle and it's pretty amazing. You'll all love it as much as I did, hopefully.
Yeah. And
all right.
Finally, the second PS4 game I was looking forward to was Metal Gear Solid 5.
Very nice, very nice. And I don't really have anything. So
tying up all the loose ends.
Yeah, loose ends have been tied.
Cool.
This show's over. We're out of time. We will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.